I never believed in those trends going around online. You know the ones. Someone whispers a name to a crying toddler, and the kid goes completely silent, like a switch flipped. People laugh, post it, move on. I always figured it was coincidence or clever editing, until it happened in my own house. This was last October. My sister asked me to watch my 2-year-old nephew for half an hour while she ran to the store. He was already fussy when she left. Nothing unusual, toddlers cry. But 20 minutes in, nothing was working. Not his cartoons, not his stuffed rabbit, not juice, not carrying him around the living room. He just kept going. That exhausted sob they do when they're too tired to even stop themselves. I remembered the videos, mostly as a joke. I leaned down and said, half laughing, "Jessica!" The change wasn't gradual. It was instant. He stopped crying so suddenly it startled me. His shoulders went stiff. His breathing caught for a second, and then he looked past me, not at me, past me, toward the hallway that leads to the bedrooms. I figured he'd heard a noise, but then he smiled. Not the smile he gives family, something quieter, something that looked almost like recognition. He lifted one hand and waved, slowly, at the empty hallway. I turned around. Nothing there. When I looked back at him, he wasn't smiling anymore. He was just staring at me, confused, like he couldn't understand why I wasn't seeing what he was seeing. I didn't tell my sister. I honestly forgot about it within a few days, until Thanksgiving. We were at dinner when my grandmother asked, out of nowhere, why my nephew kept saying, "the lady." Nobody knew what she meant. Apparently, he'd taken to walking into the hallway every few days, waving at nothing and saying one word, "Jessica." The table went quiet. My grandmother asked who taught him that name. I admitted, a little embarrassed, that I'd said it once as a joke because of those videos. She didn't laugh. She put her fork down. Then she asked me something I still haven't forgotten. Did he stop crying immediately? I said yes. She just nodded, slowly, like that confirmed something she already suspected. Then she told us something she'd never once mentioned before. Growing up in rural Pennsylvania in the 1950s, there was a rule parents followed. You never said that name around a small child. Not because it scared them, because sometimes the child answered. She said every town had its own version of the name. Some places called her Mary. Some called her Anna. In her town, it was Jessica. Nobody knew where the story started, only that children under 3 would sometimes act like they already knew her. The adults never saw anything, but the children, they'd laugh, wave, sometimes reach their arms out, the way they do when they want to be picked up. The rule was simple. You never introduce them. Because once a child knows the name, they start looking for her. I asked my grandmother if she actually believed any of it. She just shrugged. "I don't know," she said, "but my mother never let us say it in the house." That stuck with me. A few weeks later, I searched it online, not looking for ghost stories, honestly hoping to find proof the whole thing was made up. Instead, I found hundreds of videos. Different countries, different languages, different families, different kids, always the same pattern. The child cries. Someone says the name. The child goes still, looks at something behind the camera, and stares. Most of the comments treat it as a joke, but scattered in with them, every so often, is the same sentence, word for word, from people who've never met each other. My grandmother told me never to say that name. No explanation, just that. My nephew is 4 now. He doesn't remember any of it, or that's what we thought. Last month, my sister was going through old photos. He walked past one taken in our hallway, stopped, pointed at the empty corner by the bedroom door, and smiled. Then he asked, "Where did Jessica go?" Nobody in our family had said that name out loud in almost 2 years. We still don't, just in case. Some names are only stories until something answers them.